What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to HDK's channel. Yo, we've got a massive week and I cannot wait to talk about the market reversal that we're about to have. Guys, I am pretty active on TikTok, but I thought I'd just get some more exposure done through the YouTube as well. So here we go, guys. So let's get straight in and dive right into the market. I've got a few things that I want to talk about, and so let's dive right into it. All right, so guys, looking across the market, we're looking at $1.56 trillion. That's a fair bit down from where we like to have been. We have seen this sit above $2 trillion. So there's about $500 billion that actually left, which is quite significant. All right, that's about 18% increase over the last day. That's quite significant as well, guys. That's around about $0.3 trillion actually coming back into the market. We are going to soon figure out that a lot of this is actually being held as USDT or as stable coins in many accounts at the moment. So that's an interesting figure that we see, and dominance for Bitcoin is decreasing at 1.83%. Now, across the market, we're seeing massive gains from the big dip that we had yesterday. That dip was probably as significant as the one we saw, that initial dip that we saw, but it didn't go as far as that. So here we have BTC. So it didn't go as far as that, but it got pretty damn close to it. So if you got in that dip, you would have made some good money. So, but overall, the Bitcoin dominance is sitting at a quite healthy level. So let's look across the market. Bitcoin 15% up in the last 24 hours and 7 days, and 15% down. So a lot of the gains are about quite comparable to what the weekly loss it has been. So yeah, so everything is looking sort of middle of where it used to be. I'm glad that a lot of the people that follow me would have made a lot of these gains if they went in the dip as well. This is not like mooning kind of gains either, and I suspect tomorrow there might be a retest that this might go down too. But overall, we are in a bullish market and it's gonna go into very good price territories. Please stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'd love to share with you guys where it's gonna head, the overall market this year. So moving down the line, Polkadot at $20, still very good buy. XRP at 86 cents, very good buy. Anything below $1 would have been a steal, and it still is. We've got some XRP news in this video too. ICP done a really good job. I don't know much about ICP other than the fact that it's on a downward trend since it actually spiked up in the first Coinbase listing. So there is that. And then we've got Uniswap at a very low price as well. Litecoin, very good price at point entry. Chainlink, Stellar, all very strong. Polygon is always the strongest. Look at that 79% gain within 24 hours. If you got in the dip, congratulations. Polygon Matic is one of the strongest coins I've ever seen. They always make a really strong gain straight out of a dip. So it just sprints right out the door. We got good coins like VeChain with a massive use case sitting at 10 cents, guys. This could very easily hit 40 to about $1, 40 cents to about $1 by the end of the year as well. Theta also showing great strength, and people love Theta. There's a great community behind that too. EOS is showing very good strength as well, and you know that also fits in my has a room in my portfolio too. So that's just general about the market. I always like to start off my video with having a look across the market. So let's have a look at XRP. So XRP today is 86 cents. So I've got some XRP news for you guys. SEC v Ripple could end with summary judgment on fair notice. No one could be sued after that. Okay, so what's actually happening here is we got to listen to Jeremy Hogan. He is the man when it comes to reporting for what is going on between SEC and XRP. So Jeremy Hogan reported that moment and suspects that Ripple Labs wants that hearing to happen even before hearing regarding the nature of XRP, which could end the trial without the regulatory clarity, but with a precedent that would allow any future defendant in a similar lawsuit to claim they had no fair notice from SEC. So the summary judgment is basically going to forego any discussion into whether or not XRP is a security or a currency. So it's not going to go through that discussion anymore. It's just that it had no fair notice for defense in August. That's what the summary judgment is going to be based upon. So once that happens, then they're not going to even bother discovering whether or not XRP is a security or a currency, and it's just basically going to shut down the case. So this is a really interesting remark to look into. A Ripple victory at that hearing would of course end the whole case. Would XRP have clarity? Then yes and no. XRP status would not, but no one could be sued after that by the SEC see, because there would be case precedent that no one had fair notice anyway. So this is a really interesting procedural decision that's going to come out, and it's another leg that XRP could potentially stand on, and definitely one that points to a positive news for XRP. Either way, I think XRP is going to looking towards a very bullish trajectory by the end of the year. Another coin that I wanted to introduce to you today was Alpha. Guys, Alpha is looking very, very good. There are some very, very bullish outlook for Alpha. So if you wanted to get into that, it's on a very, very oversold territory. A lot of coins at the moment are like that, but this one, just looking at the, it's actually one of the few coins that actually broken through the resistance that's found at the previous week. So it's gone through that, and then it's actually testing around that second resistance region. And as you can see, this by this massive wick that you're seeing here, that's actually at a very, very strong support. So we're looking at a pretty strong bounce up here. Obviously, we're gonna have to keep an eye on the cost, the price of Bitcoin for this to trigger a investment opportunity. So I'm keeping a close eye on Alpha, but we are looking at very, very strong gains on Alpha. Same thing with Matic. So we're looking at this upward channel that we're looking at. So that's a 1 hour chart. Looking at the 1 day chart, it's obviously doing really, really well. A very, very bullish outlook here. Guys, at $1.50, it's still looking quite cheap. We do have the potential to go all the way up to about $3 by the end of this bull run, which I suspect will continue towards the end of the year. And I suspect there'll be multiple bull runs between now and then as well. So let's have a look at some of these shorter terms as well. Look, everything looks good. Looks like there's already a very clear reversal in Matic. It's just that if there's going to be any further dips on Bitcoin, then I think it'll be good to get into it. So speaking of Bitcoin, let's actually look at Bitcoin. So I'm going to look at Bitcoin from a very, very long-term perspective. So there are some really interesting regions that we need to look out for. And that region right now is the $28,974 region. So that's the high to $20,000, low $32,000 region. So this region here is actually very, very critical. It looks like we're doing really well in the past 24 hours, but if it gets to that $42,000 mark, which is where that peak is, so let me just draw that in for you guys right there, boom, that region there is going to be where it's going to retest. Okay, so it depends if it's going to break above that, or if it doesn't break above, then it'll very likely test that support there. And if it breaks down through that, then we're looking at the $20,000 regions right here, which is that resistance that we saw back in 2020 December. So these are very, very critical regions that we need to look out for. And when it tests that $29,000 mark, it's got a bit of a region to play in as well because of that wick there. So it'll be interesting to see how it is. And the FUD might actually be enough to actually kick everybody into that region. And the whales are actually very active out there as well. And this is just not me alone. So we got to look at this tweet at the bottom first. This tweet by Dan Crypto Trades. If you want to give him a follow, he sounds pretty comprehensive to me. So why not? 2 areas of interest. We'll be watching $42,000 to $43,000 area, as well as a $28,800 to $30,000. Getting above $43,000 would be great. And I had a lot more confidence this being a giant shakeout. So and then obviously, secondly, if we consolidate below 28.8, it would consider my bias. I would consider my bias and start looking at getting out of the market as a whole. I'll then buy back lower at $19,000 to $23,000. Buy back as a solid retake of the level, better probability of moving up. So if it consolidates around about that $43,000 mark, above that support line that I've drawn in there, then we're looking at a spike up from here. So in this region, it's actually too early to tell where it's going to go. If it crosses down below this region, then it has a likelihood to actually go into this zone right there. And then if it crosses even below that, well, I think there's a very, very strong support there. So I think at this region, it'll be very smart to put your buy orders in there. All right, cool. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention was last week, yes, there was a big slide because, and one that was triggered by Elon. So Buterin had an interview and he answered a very, very interesting question. So we asked, what do you think about, Elon Musk? And then Buterin acknowledged that crypto markets tend to be vulnerable to disruptive events before they build up an immune system over time. Elon Musk tweeting is something that the crypto space has only been introduced to for the first time literally this year and last year. I think it's reasonable to expect a bit of craziness, but I do think that the markets will learn. Elon is not going to have this influence forever. But here's the thing, guys. We need some level of volatility with these kind of external disruptive events. Because if there's no volatility, there will be no opportunity for us to enter the market, like we're seeing right now. If there was no whales, we won't be able to enter the markets like we're seeing right now. So it's really important for you guys to understand that it's not just about, oh, it'll be great if it just all goes up, but the dips are actually required for people to become rich. I mean, think about it. Do you think the guys who invested in Matic yesterday is going to complain about the 80% gain overnight? No, they're not. And they might take profits in that they made enough money or whatever, however they want to react. But the thing is, these are opportunities that people are getting into and actually making good money. Lastly, I want to just add one more thing. Look, StormX, I think, is a very promising coin. So they have a very, very good, I understand the chart looks like this, and that probably follows the market as well. But the thing is, its price action is actually extremely low at what are we looking at now? Almost, it's only at 3 cents. And so I have a feeling that it will probably potentially get back up to that, 10-cent mark, which is a very, very strong gain. In that, StormX actually tacks onto e-commerce. Now, e-commerce is a massive area, and it's about to hit critical mass so that there's going to be mass, uptake. You listen to guys like Jeff Bezos, you listen to him talk about it, you got to have more than 20% in the market share, and then it'll go nuts. So we're still below that. E-commerce is still less than 20% of bricks and mortar purchases by the world, but it's very close to it. So once that mass uptake goes on, then this is a coin that is a great long-term hold. And this is basically cash back on your purchases, and it has more than 750 stores that it actually connects with, which I think is quite significant. So yeah, so I'd suggest StormX is one of those things that you can actually implement on your spending habits now, or it's something that you can invest in for a long-term basis. So I have a lot of promise. I think this will be a fantastic investment that you can get behind. And also, if you want to be referred to the StormX app, so all you need to do is install the app and just shop through it, and then you get discounts through eBay, Lego, Shopee, Samsung, Macy's, Nike, all of these great brands, Microsoft, everywhere. So the partnerships are just amazing. So go check out the link in my description and you're going to see something there as well. So there we have it. So I just added that. I just tacked on that little StormX there. So guys, there's obviously a lot of things that are happening right now. I think there's going to be a double peak like we saw in 2013. The whales are at it, guys. They are actually manipulating the market at the moment for reasons that I probably won't digress in this very video, but it's happening, guys. So I wouldn't worry so much about it. If you want to diamond hand through this situation, you can. If you want to be smart and activate those buy orders in those regions, be my guest. But I think overall, what's going to happen to the market is that once we break out of these zones, and we will, and we're going to be looking at around $75,000 to about $80,000 mark by the end of the year, and all the other altcoins that you would have invested in, like your VeChain, XRP, Chainlink, Matic, and all those things, I think will follow that move as well. So in that sense, look, if your account is looking nice and red at the moment and you think you're about to die, I mean, you're not. It's just numbers on the screen, right? So I'd say just hold at the very, very worst. Second option is you can either short the trade at the moment and hedge your bets against the moves in that particular fashion. I don't particularly recommend it, but that's another option. And lastly, what you can do is you can potentially convert your coins to the stable coins and then actually put some buy orders in at where you think the market's going to be experiencing a reversal. So look, at the end of the day, the same strategies apply. Make sure you dollar cost average and make sure you don't sell out on FUD. So overall, I think we're looking at a very, very strong reversal. If you're interested in doing more crypto trading, please consider liking, following my channel, and I would love to provide you with more value on a daily basis. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you follow me on all those social pipes, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.